After much anticipation and much speculation, Disney finally dropped the first official Snow White trailer, and well, I don't necessarily want to bury the lead on this one. Things aren't going all that well. But to be fair, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news. On the good side of things, well, the trailer's in the trending tab. Okay, it's number 2 in trending. That's got to be good. But then also, if you just simply peer over to that like to dislike ratio, and you're going to notice something's actually quite bad in that situation. But we'll come back to the actual trailer itself, because I want to play at least some of it. I don't want to be up front with the torture. We got to prolong this a little bit, get everybody ready for the suffering that's about to commence. Rachel Zegler's Snow White trailer finally releases on YouTube. Dislikes begin to pour upon Disney, because it's interesting, right? Disney's riding an exceptionally high right now with Moana 2 even exceeding their lofty expectations. It's wild, man. They're easily going to have the 3 biggest films of the year, and they may have saved the best or the best performing for last, which is wild to think about. But looking forward to 2025, I mean, you kick off the year with Captain Black Falcon America, man, which is, even if it does do decently, it's never going to recoup its budget. It's going to need to make $1 billion plus in order to break even. That's not going to happen. And then when it comes to Snow White, following it up about a month and change later, this has also got to get nearly to that 9-digit club. The 3 comma brigade has to break out for this one, because yeah, it's gone back for a similar number of reshoots. This film has been edited to hell and back, and this is the best that they could produce? Bro, it's real sketchy. I did a video not that long ago, I think it was a week or 2 ago, in regards to one of the leaked trailers that was out there. Maybe the ones that some people were checking out at the cinema or something like that, and well, showed you stills of it. And this one's, it's even different from that, so who knows, maybe that caused the delay. They had to go back and re-edit that monstrosity, interject a couple of different things in it, which, yeah, we'll take a look at it, and different is the nicest way that you can put it. Or they, well, just tried to put more breathing room between the release of the trailer and the wonderful and talented and magnanimous Rachel Zegler's post-election comments. Nearly 2 weeks after it was rumored, the Walt Disney Company has decided to finally put out the Snow White live-action remake trailer on YouTube. The company had kept the trailer exclusive to showings before Wicked and Moana 2, without comment as to why it was hidden away elsewhere. The truth is, almost certainly, a very coordinated, positive PR campaign to protect Moana 2 that seems to have been quite successful. The preview trailer for Snow White, yes, was released earlier in 2024 and was a colossal failure for Disney's Alan Bergman. The VP who oversees the film side of the company was likely quite displeased to see the trailer, because one of the most disliked movie previews in the history of cinema. And yeah, let's just reaffirm this. We've seen different production stills. We have seen different teaser trailers of this film for, oh lord, coming on 2 years at this point in time, and it really hasn't improved all that much. Okay. Zegler has been a part of the controversy, after controversy, whether it has been calling the Prince of the Story a stalker, or claiming the original Walt Disney film is dated, or weighing in on Middle Eastern politics in crude and obtuse ways. Zegler has been anything but princess-like, and who can forget her preemptively declaring that she would not be bleaching her skin for the role. Yo, I think I might have missed that one. That's kind of crazy. Truly, Zegler has been the anathema or any kind of cinematic success, because yeah, the unexpected box office benefits that Disney is receiving this year, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be echoed, at least for some of their bigger releases in 2025. It's gonna be tough, man. And so without further ado, let's check out at least some of this trailer, shall we? Let's just see if everything, because it's been a minute since I pulled this up. So okay, before we get into all of this stuff, we gotta see, is this still trending? Still trending. Number 2, it's got just about 3 million views, and it's still holding strong at 14,000 upvotes. So that's got to be good. But yeah, the downvotes. Oh, we don't need to focus on the negative all the time. It's just always so negative. Can't be doing that. Why are we going to be doing that? But it's gotta give props to Disney on this one, because there's a good chance that they aren't going to strike this video if I play a lot of this trailer. So hey, at least good for them on that one. You got to take your wins where you can get them, because oh boy, in regards to Snow White, they're going to be few and far between, brother. God, she is just, okay, here's the thing, right? Like, fairest of them all. I understand that it is supposed to be redefined and all that stuff, but man, that just, she is, like, not even mid with that bob cut. Holy, man, like, that is a hard 4 right there. Anyways.
This was my father's kingdom.
And now I'm gonna be the queen, anyways.
A place of fairness. But the queen changed everything.
So it's an evil stepmother? Is that what we're going to be doing this time around? Or she usurped the king and everybody's just kind of fine with it because it's a castle, right? Because fairness has been redefined as being not of, physical beauty because, even with Gal Gadot's old ass, she's still 20 times more attractive than Zegler. Everybody said that to death to this point in time. But you have this little competition because as somebody who remembers, okay, like it's been a long time since I've seen the original, but it's one of those movies, something that we haven't seen out of Hollywood in a long time, a certifiable classic where you actually remember scenes, big plot beats, time and time again. Even if you just watch them once, twice, or 3 times, you remember them for the rest of your life. And Snow White and a lot of those old school animated classics from Disney, you remember a couple of those things. And when the evil witch would look into the mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, she would always see herself there until Snow White came of age to a point where she could go ahead and usurp her beauty. So you're saying, if you're redefining what it means to be fairest, the mirror on the wall until Snow White came of age, the evil queen is the most fairest until Snow White comes around. I find that to be very interesting. I wonder how they're going to rework that plot beat like so many other things. Anyways.
Take him away!
Your Majesty.
What did you say?
Oh, we need to... here's something that I noticed when I first watched the trailer. Really, really on display. Gal Gadot, she can't act, bro. Like, this is going to be so bad. Like, there is no redeemable aspect to this trailer, but perhaps I'm being too harsh. You might have a different opinion.
Take him away!
Your Majesty.
Take him away! Kal-El, no!
What did you say?
The people need some...
Yo, she has absolutely no range when it comes to just looks on her face. Like, she is just a plank of wood, bro. She could be seeing her kid being thrown off a cliff, a wheelbarrow full of gold coming into the throne room, and that would be the look on her face. Somebody pointed out, okay, normally you can assess somebody if they have a level of believability when it comes to their acting. If you can see it in their eyes, you can see them kind of knocking around different concepts or even just thinking about what the character would be doing at that point in time. That's normally the sign of a competent actor. Whenever you stare into the eyes of Gal Gadot, the only thing that you could see is more than likely the back of her skull. She is just a dullard. Somebody who got around and got away with it through most of her life as just being the hot piece of ass. And now she's getting to that point in time where she has to make that trepidatious transition from being, the attractive side character to a respectable actress. And, if she didn't have certain type of backing based on, certain type of things, we don't need to get too terribly specific, it would be out on her ass because there are so many other chicks, in their late 30s, early 40s that could fit this role and could absolutely chew the scenery. It's just, why did you go with Gal Gadot? It makes no sense at all whatsoever, but whatever.
The people need some kindness.
I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
No facial expressions at all whatsoever. Like, what is going on, bro? This is good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the
magic mirror on the wall? Who's the fairest of them all?
fairest of them all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But a lovely maiden I now behold.
I look at you, and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
The queen is evil. You must flee into the woods.
Oh, by the way, if you recall, you remember those old Daily Mail set leaks, okay? Where you had those goofy looking ass Portland baristas running around in an empty field with Rachel Zegler's body double out there. I'd imagine these guys are going to be the precursor to the CGI abominations we're about to check in on this one. So, yeah, they didn't disappear at all. It's just their role ended up getting a little bit manipulated and moved off to the side.
Into the woods.
Can't wait. And here's the thing with all of these Disney live-action remakes, because anthropomorphic animals are just so intrinsic to telling a bunch of these different stories. Like, you have Aladdin, you have Abu, Magic Carpet, Raja, and all that stuff. Like, not to even bother speaking of the Lion King and all that different stuff. Those characters are so important to telling the story, and the fact that they're just lifeless, semi-photorealistic placeholders, that's where you lose a lot of the life in the story. Like, you could very much see that with The Little Mermaid that came out last year. Like, Flounder just looked like a clownfish, and Sebastian just looked like some crab. But hey, I guess you got Scuttlebutt doing a rap. I guess that's a good trade-off.
My parents always said this forest was a magical place.
Yo, all of these just, it looks so bad. It just looks like CGI slop. There's nothing spectacular about this at all, man. Like, they look obviously fake. And if you're going to go that route where you're just going to create all of the, like, so nice that Mitch McConnell could get work outside of the Senate. But if you're going to go this direction, just make them more stylized. You're supposed to have this magical forest anyway. So what's really holding you back? So silly.
Magical place. Hello? Is there anybody here?
No, nobody. And she's actually looking into one of the theaters on opening weekend. Oh God, get ready for it. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, I gotta go. That's nightmare fuel. You think anybody, okay, you see any mom or dad, sitting around, okay, once this trailer ends up making its way to network television and stuff like that, you're gonna see a family sitting around looking at this trailer and going, you know what? I think my kid's definitely gonna like to see this CGI abomination. That is horrifying, bro. That is Polar Express levels of CGI. And that shit came out in 2006 and it was getting mocked at the time. I can't believe we're 18 years removed. 18 years removed from that. And here we are. Yo, this bitch broke in our place. It's like, actually, no, the animals let her in because, she couldn't be shown to committing any crimes or anything like that. I don't know, she's the fairest of them all, guys. Come on.
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Oh my God, we can take it, with all of the reshoots, you could have done another line delivery. Like, that could have been acceptable. What did you think oh my God. Ugh.
Ghost.
I wonder how difficult it is, and okay, we got Mad TV Kid checking in with Dopey over here, but I guess, I'm sure he's probably, just misunderstood and maybe just a little bit developmentally challenged, and he's not actually, like a blithering retard. But just seeing Rachel Zegler with a smile on her face, I wonder how difficult that was for her to do, because, she was talking about, I deserve to be paid for every minute that I was in that dress. There's a reason that she remembers every minute that she was in that dress, because that was some difficult acting that she had to do right there. Pretending to be happy and not making somebody's life miserable. Oof.
You'll be safe from the Queen here.
The Queen stole everything from all of us. I'm gonna need your help. It's time to restore our kingdom.
Waiting on a wish, holding out for someday, hoping somehow, some way, there comes a miracle.
Find Snow White.
Ooh, find Snow White. It's like, yeah, and then it's just it's all gonna crescendo into a big girl boss action scene at the end, okay? Because, Prince Eric, he's probably the one who's being kept in the castle when she gets kicked down a waterfall or some shit like that, and then washes up on the dwarf shores before she teaches them how to cook and clean after 14 hours down in the mines. But this goofy aesthetic with, dark and dreary castle with armored knights, I don't know, man. Doesn't really jive with the rest of the aesthetic. Yo, and all of this shit, like, oh cool, we're down in the mines. It's just CGI slop.
This is our kingdom.
Yes, I'm supposed to be a fair and just ruler. Not, like a typical feminine archetype. We're here to redefine what it means. Not just to be the fairest of them all, but to be the original Disney princess. I want to die.
And now we're here to take it back.
You were saying? I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, quite a bit, actually. Yeah, hi-ho, hi-ho. Oh, God. Exclusively in theaters, March 21st. This is not a good trailer. This is really not a good trailer. But yeah, as the first, and many comments down there say, I'll give Disney some credit. They're brave enough to leave the comment section open because, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? You are, your majesty. Cut to credits. Yeah, exactly. You'd save everybody a lot of time on this one. And then people also running back Rachel Zegler quotes from interviews gone by. Yeah. Evil queen to the mirror. Describe Snow White to me. Mirror, weird. I think Zegler's going to have some knock-on effects. It's interesting, right? Because you would think, the Pixar's declining quality would have had a negative effect on Inside Out 2 earlier this year. Whoopsie daisy. Clearly not the case. Or Wish having a knock-on effect, handing the baton off to Moana 2. Very much doesn't seem to be the case there either. But when it comes to these live-action remakes, there has come to a point where at least it's verifiable. There must be some disassociation between audiences when it comes to Disney animation as opposed to their live-action stuff, because Marvel has seen a precipitous drop-off when it comes to Lucasfilm. The only thing that you can really do an apples-to-apples comparison with is because, well, you don't have any movies to compare with because 2019 was a long-ass time away, and yeah, Mandalorian Grogu's definitely going to be coming out in 2026, guys. Don't worry about it. Sure thing. But you see the market drop-off when it comes to ratings for all of those slop Star Wars shows. Hey, there's one streaming right now. Fantastic. Nobody cares. But it's been a consistent step down time and time again when Disney goes back to the live-action remake well. And it's going to be interesting because there's actually one that comes out between now and the release of Snow White. And that right there is Mufasa, the sequel to the $1.7 billion hit from 2019. And well, it looks like Edgy the Hedgy is going to be edging Mufasa out. Okay, Sonic 3 is currently tracking to open with $55 million domestically. And as of now, the film is tracking to open at number 1, beating Mufasa, The Lion King, which is set to release in very short order. I don't think it's this weekend, but I think, yeah, it's within the next couple of weeks. And well, that right there, that's going to be the big bellwether for a bunch of people, because Moana 2 is going to be an outlier because that's the animated side of things. That's not really shown to have a knock-on effect when it comes to the live action stuff. But this right here, we're going to have to see how much slack people are willing to actually give to Disney. And with this, outside of talking Mufasa here for a second, just generally being a film that people don't want, but not really having much controversy outside of that, what's going to be the difference between this and the controversy-laden Snow White film? That's going to be interesting. But apparently, according to Disney, it really doesn't much matter, man. Because they can just go ahead, and now they have the formula. They can just go ahead and shovel out the animated slop, and the masses are going to eat it up. Fantastic. With the success of Moana 2 and Inside Out 2, okay, we just kind of had a proverbial Groundhog Day of a decade full of slop. Cool. But perhaps the live action train, it'll be coming screeching to a halt. But what about the charismatic star of the performance, okay? What about the future of Rachel Zegler? Well, if rumors to be believed on this one, we're going to be seeing a lot of her moving forward. I don't know anything about the validity of this stuff. We haven't had it confirmed outside of the animated side of things when it comes to X-Men. We don't have any idea how they're going to get integrated into the MCU, how that's going to launch. It's at least going to be a few years, if not a half decade down the line before we see any meaningful updates on casting, direction, or anything like that, because they're focused on the Doomsday stuff and moving forward with Robert Downey Jr. while he's still there. So yeah, this is obviously a rumor. Do you really see it being that far off base for as much protection as Disney is running for Rachel Zegler, for as much leeway she has been given by the industry with bomb after bomb after bomb on her resume? While it might be a rumor today, we could hear her being cast as Rogue tomorrow. Let that sit in your cerebellum for a minute. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.